ン、ハンス・クリスチャン・ビッテンクス選手、デンマークを行います。この試合の主審はモハマド・ジン・ハシム、マレーシア。サービスジャッジはカン・シンジュン、韓国です。
The next match on court 1 is a men's singles quarterfinals between Kenichi Tago of Japan and Hans-Kristian Vittinghus of Denmark. The umpire is Mohammad Zin Hashim of Malaysia, and the service judge is Kan Sim-jun of Korea.
So the players on court for our next match, our fourth match of the day, is men's singles. And my goodness me, how the crowd are going to get involved in this, because it features this man, the number 4 seed Kenichi Tago, who of course was so instrumental in Japan's victory in the Thomas Cup, the men's World Team Championships. But he's going to have his work cut out today, because he's playing against the Danish player Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. And Vittinghus, of course, is one of those players that in the draw all the seeded players want to avoid, because he's a dangerous floater. As far as Tago is concerned, well, they're going to change ends before the warm-up commences. Tago, of course, beaten finalist here last year. Lost out in the final to Lee Chong-wei. 9th appearance at his home event, which is quite extraordinary considering he's only 24 years of age. He'll turn 25 next month, though. Born in Saitama, suburb of Tokyo. This man, a little older at the age of 28, Vittinghus. So to the number 1 player from Japan, Kenichi Tago, has been as high as 3 in the world ranking, but currently number 4. His win-loss record for the year, well, he's only played 3 individual tournaments. He's been in 2 semi-finals and 2 quarter-finals. Sadly, he had to miss the last 2 Super Series events, both in India and Singapore. So as far as he is concerned, his matches so far, well, he had a tough old battle in the first round against the Korean Lee Dong-kwon. In fact, had a couple of match points in that second game to win it in 2 straight games, but it had to go the full distance. And as you can see, 1 hour and 13 minutes against Saurabh Varma of India yesterday. It was far more comfortable, as you can see, just 34 minutes. So to his opponents, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus, 28 years of age. Up 1 place in the world ranking this week, up to number 14, not seeded here. And he too has been higher in the world ranking like his opponents. He's been a couple of places higher at number 12. His Super Series ranking at the moment, well, it went down 2 places after Singapore, down to number 10, but this his 3rd Super Series quarter-final of the year. Incidentally, he reached the final of the German Grand Prix Gold, so 1 final so far this year for Vittinghus. Well, his 2 matches so far, he's been very, very impressive. First of all against Sujin Hao from Taipei, and then against the number 7 seed Tien Minh Nguyen of Vietnam. Well, I'm absolutely delighted to say that I've been joined in the commentary position by former World Junior Champion Viktor Axelsen. And you have literally sprinted from the warm-up courts and helping your teammate Hans-Kristian Vittinghus to prepare for this match. I assume he's in good spirits for this?
Yeah, he seems to be. You know, he's had an impressive run in this tournament. Considering his preparations for this tournament, it's really impressive how he's been playing. After his loss in the quarterfinal at the Europeans, he hasn't really been able to practice at full speed at home. So I think he's really delighted to be in the quarterfinal here.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kenichi Tago, Japan. And on my left, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus, Denmark. Kenichi Tago to serve, love all, play.
So the number 4 seed Kenichi Tago nearest to us, getting this quarter-final underway against Hans-Kristian Vittinghus This is the fourth meeting between these two players. Of the previous three, Tago has won 2 of them.
Service over.
Now, just to
1
explain
love.
Victor Axelson's comment a little bit further, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus, as you say, lost in the quarter-final of the European Championships. He only played 1 match in your Thomas Cup campaign. Obviously, there was an injury problem. What was that?
He's had a lot of problems with his feet. First his heel and now his little toe, I think.
Okay.
And it has been a big problem from him. And yeah, right now he seems to be okay, but it has not been good.
2
No.
love.
It's funny, though, sometimes players, I've seen it in the past, you know, somehow you relax a little bit more because you sort of think, well, what the heck? I know my preparation hasn't been perfect, so I'm coming to this event, I've got no personal expectations, and then players seem to do well.
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes it can be a lot easier when you don't really have such high expectations.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can play more freely.
Indecision there from Vittinghus at the back of the court.
Yeah, I think what Hans-Kristian is trying to do is, you know, wait for the right chance to come in with his attacks.
3 love.
Tago likes to play this slow game and wait for the right chance as well. But Hans has to, you know, take initiative and come in with his attacks.
No, it's called just long.
Service over.
Good judgment
1,
from
3.
Tago. Oh my goodness, that was very good judgment from Tago.
Indeed.
Oh, good retrieving. Yeah,
Great play.
yeah.
Service over.
I have to
4,
say,
1.
in the past, I've been a little bit critical of Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. I think that he's a great athlete, and because of his athletic ability, sometimes I watch him play and he builds the rally and then just doesn't seem to finish it off at the right time. It's almost as if he's just loving playing badminton and hitting shuttles. And when I'm seeing him like this, where he's prepared to go for the
5,
winner,
1.
he's looking very impressive.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes it can be he can play a bit too passive, but when he has success in his attack, he can be really dangerous to play because, as you say, he's a really good retriever as well. So it can be really tough to play him sometimes when he's confident in his attacking game as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting to see if Hans can keep this attacking game up and keep the high pace, because if Tago gets, you know, too much time at the backcourt, he's really, really dangerous. So it will be really important for Hans to keep the pace up, I think.
Tago's not giving him anything to hit, and now he does.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Great play.
Yeah. And I suppose
So
the
it's
other
over.
thing that Vittinghus has got to be
6-2.
aware of is that he's playing against a home player. So as far as the Dane is concerned, he's got to try and take the crowd out of the occasion. And he's made the perfect start, because if you can get a few points lead, then the crowd goes a little bit quiet, and then it's not so much of an advantage for the home player.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it might make Tago a bit nervous as well. Let's see.
Oof, that's short.
Yeah, that's a great play.
Yeah.
Service over.
He's so good at making these
3,
tight net
6.
shots, you know, from a bit into the court. He can put it so close, as we see here. This one.
Yeah.
It's so tough to do anything about when you're a bit too late on the shuttle. Great shot.
And I'm a great believer, I have to say, that, you know, of course, when we sit and watch as spectators, as I do, and I obviously love the game, and I love seeing the big smashes and everything, but really, the essence of men's singles, all revolves around that net play, doesn't it?
Yeah, the net play is so important.
Yeah.
Also, you know, the big smashes, they're fun to hit as well, but
Yeah.
sometimes it can really cause you problems if you're hitting it out of balance.
Yep.
So, you know, it's crucial that you choose the right time to hit it.
Yeah. And of course, Tago must be full of confidence, having beaten Chen Long in the Thomas Cup semi-final. Of course, that was the first men's singles.
Service
Got his
over.
team off to a flying start.
7-3.
And Japan, from there, went strength to strength. Beat the then defending champions China in the semi-final, Malaysia in the final of the Thomas Cup. What a wonderful occasion it
Service over.
was.
4-7.
Yeah, he really played well against Chen Long in that Thomas Cup game.
Ah, there we are. Isn't it a magnificent trophy? Yeah.
I hope it will come to Denmark sometime.
Well, only 4 nations now have ever won the Thomas Cup.
5-7.
China, Malaysia, Indonesia, and now Japan.
Yeah.
Denmark finalists on several occasions. I don't have my notes with me. Do you know offhand?
Sorry. I don't. Before my time, at least.
That's good net exchange. And that just emphasises the point that you were making,
Service
the
over.
importance of that net play.
8-5.
Yeah, really important for Hans to, you know, to meet it as early as possible on the net, as we see here. If Tago get initiative, he is really dangerous.
Yeah. Now I can
9-5.
understand Tago's theory here. I can understand his tactics in that what you've already said, he's a player that likes to bide his time. But here, why keep lifting and lifting straight? Why not just block it across court or try and just change it up a little?
Yeah, you know, Hans has made a few winners now from his round ahead, and Tago seems to be a bit passive. I think it would be good to him to take a bit more initiative and try to put a bit pace into the game. But
Which,
yeah,
of
like
course,
this.
like that.
Yeah.
And which, of course, he did against Chen Long in that
6-9.
Thomas Cup semi-final. I couldn't believe how, not outright aggressive, but how positive he was with everything he was doing in that match. And as you've pointed out already, at the moment, to me, he looks a little bit passive.
yeah, he's a bit too passive, I think. But you know, let's see what happens. What happens now? He seems to get a bit more confidence now after this match. So.
Oh,
7-9.
yeah, a wry smile from Kenichi Tago. He was not ready for that. He was off to the back of the court.
A good chance by Hans anyway.
Yeah. 7-9. Yeah, he's catching back up.
8-9.
And you know, it's just what he wants, Tago. You know, he really loves these easy points because he doesn't really give them away himself so easily. So it's really important to, you know, to really be concentrated during the rallies and don't give him anything too easy, because he grows in that confidence.
No, he missed it.
Service over.
He's not happy with that one.
10-8.
No. Well, it appeared to me, and I may be far off the mark, but it appeared to me if he was a little bit tight there in his arm and his shoulders. I wonder if the nerves, the burden of expectation. It's a good crowd in today in the Metropolitan Gymnasium here in Tokyo.
Yeah, they have been a bit quiet so far.
Oh, that's
Great
brilliant.
shot.
Isn't that
Great
fabulous?
Service over.
Yeah, that's lightened them up a bit,
9-10.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
And from a Danish perspective, that's what Vittinghus needs to avoid.
Yeah, that clears a bit too slow.
Oh, that was a double hit, wasn't it? Yeah, in fact, there was a look.
Hans looked up to the umpire as well.
That's right.
10 all.
Well, I hope we can see that again. He's going to have a word.
You didn't see that he hit it twice? No. You didn't see that?
Well, Vittinghus, we could clearly hear him saying you didn't
Oh,
see that he hit it twice. He was definitely did hit it twice. Well, the umpire not seeing that. Mohammed Hashim on Malaysia. Oh, that's most unfortunate. Well, that is perfect
Service
response
over.
from
11-10
Vittinghus.
interval.
Wins the next rally, and he goes to the mid-game interval with the advantage, albeit just one solitary point. But psychologically, always nice to have the lead at the mid-game interval.
Yeah, I actually feel like Hans has got off to a really good start, but he's only leading 11-10. I think that he has deserved a bit more, in my opinion. But it will be exciting to see if Hans can keep it going now.
Got 1, 20 seconds. Got 1, 20 seconds.
Well, I was struggling to hear what Kenichi Jonassen, the Danish coach, was saying. I guess you were having as many
11-10.
problems as me.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear anything.
No.
But I think that
Service over.
Kenneth said that
11
he has
all.
to get early on the net. He can't wait for it.
Yeah.
And try to come in with his good attacks and wait for the right chance.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Great
What
shot.
a shot.
Great rally as well.
12, 11.
Yeah, it seems like Tago wants to take more initiative now.
Yeah.
He's been hitting a few more attacking shots.
Well, 12 months ago, Victor, I wrote an article for the Japan website, and I said that this man's time had come. I thought Tago, having at the time been in 4 Super Series tournament finals, I felt that he was on the verge of winning his maiden title. Since then, he's been in another 2 finals and still not managed to actually take the title. Is it something that plays on a player's mind that, you know, you've been in 6 Super Series tournament finals? I mean, these are the elite tier of tournaments all year round that the players aim towards, all you elite players. Does it become a psychological block?
It definitely can, I think. I've only been in 1 myself, so I don't really know how I would react if I've been in 6 Super Series finals. But of course, it can be psychological. Also, if you keep losing in the first round, sometimes it can be mentally really, really tough. And every match is really tough to get into
11.
because you want to win really, really, really much.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I suppose there's been so much talk in the build-up to this year's Japan Open with Lin Dan back on the scene and coming through the qualifying. Of course, Lin Dan is in the bottom half of the draw.
15,
And Lin
11.
Dan will be playing against another Dane, Jan Jorgensen, later on this afternoon. And all the talk about the rivalry between Lee Chong-wei, the world #1, and the world and Olympic champion Lin Dan. And I sort of feel that it's a little unfair because I watch all of you men's singles players and players like Tago, who's just come from an 8-10 deficit to win 8 of the next 9 points. He's a world-class player.
He really is, and he's dangerous for guys like, you know, Chinlong, as we saw at Thomas Cup, but
yeah.
I think also the other guys, especially here in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice from Vittinghus.
Great play.
Service over.
Sacrificing power for placement.
16.
Yeah, he's such a nice chap off court as well.
He really is, yeah. Really great guy to have at practice as well when he is at 100%. We have a really good group in Denmark, and everyone is willing to give 100% every day. So it's really important for all of us.
Mm. I know that Vittinghus also does a lot of charity work for badminton's main charity, Solibad, Badminton Without Borders, and does some wonderful work. Does that charity with help with orphanages and...
Also in the Athletes Commission.
Yeah, he's also on the Athletes Commission, yes.
Yeah, and he's taking, you know, the sports management as well. So he likes to, you know, to help and
yeah,
to do all this kind of stuff. So it's great.
Yeah.
And I think we will see him after his career in the sport in the future.
Yeah.
At least I hope so.
Another good rally. Look at the movement and the court coverage. Well,
he was waiting for that one.
Yeah. As soon as Vittinghus turned to play the high backhand, he's got his back to the net. Look at this. He can't see where his opponent is and didn't realise that Tago was ready and waiting.
Yeah, he stepped up a bit, Tago. Playing more aggressive.
No.
Hans has to, you know, cut away these small errors because, as I said earlier, Tago really likes these easy points, and it just makes it harder for Hans to come back. But it can be really tough.
Yeah.
19-12.
Well, 11 of 13 points now won by this man, and that's what you call a shift in momentum. Oh,
great play.
Lovely.
Great disguised.
13-19.
And this is what Hans has to do. He has to take initiative and to come in with these fast-paced shots.
We certainly started the match off like that, didn't he? And I wonder how much it was that he maybe just took his foot off the pedal and how much that Tago just upped his game. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? Probably a combination of them both.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. As we see here, Tago is meeting it early and the net as well. Great shot.
14-19.
Well, talking about the long list of extra things that Vittinghus does, apart from his professional badminton career. The last Super Series event we were at, the Singapore Open, he came and sat by me.
Great.
Yeah. Oh. He did actually say to me, I said, I hope that we'd see him again. He said, well, actually, I hope I'm playing next time. Well, here he is playing, and he's playing jolly well, too.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I hope I'm playing the next time as well, then.
A little slow with the drop shot, did you not think?
Yeah.
Got to play a little bit quicker, like that.
Yeah, like that. It's so important for Hans to keep making these shots.
Mm.
Great placement.
Yeah. Well, I was asking one of the officials yesterday and earlier today whether Tago's mother was here.
Yeah.
Tago's mother and I used to play against each other.
Ah, that's great.
Well, I've just given away my age, which was a bit of a blunder, but yes. His mother, a very, very good doubles player. Yoshiko Yonekyura. Bronze medal at the World Championships of 1980. Good flick serve, good little change up there from Vittinghus.
Crucial point, this one.
Yeah.
Aye.
Well, he learned from the high backhand, didn't he, Vittinghus? He wasn't going to play the drop shot again. Went for the cross-court clear. And then the luck with Tago finding the net cord and the shuttle just popping over the net. And that good fortune brings game point opportunities for last year's beaten finalist. Oh, well saved.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Service over.
Great change of pace.
16-20.
I think if Hans can cut away these, easy errors in the second set, he still has a chance. But it's so important that he's keep the pace up, not trying to push it too far.
That's gone long. Second time of asking. And the opening game goes to the number 4 seed.
Kenichi Tago, 21-16.
Umpire confirms the score, 21-16, 22 minutes. And the home player will be mightily relieved about that. One game to the good, Kenichi Tago. Well, a little bit of water on board for Tago. Well, you can see from that it really is a fabulous crowd in here this afternoon for quarterfinals day. And
Yeah, it's great to see so many showing up here.
yeah, very popular sport here in Japan.
Second game.
Even more so now,
All play.
I should think, after the Thomas Cup success. Now, Victor, what's interesting to me, Kenichi Tago, his coach, Keita Masuda, spent very, very little time with him. At the change of ends there, just a quick word of advice, whereas Danish coach, Kenneth Jonassen, spending all his allotted time. Is that, can we read something into that, or is that just the way that Kenneth works?
Kenneth likes to work that way, I think. It also pretty much, which situation the player are in. Right now, Hans, I think he needs to get his head straight again and to follow the tactic that he started off
Service
with.
over.
But it can be really, really tough. I know how Hans is feeling right now.
Oh, yeah, that did land on the line. Good call,
I
line
thought
judge.
it was called out. Great.
Yeah.
2-1.
Good use of the width of the court. Now, I've been talking about adrift in this arena. Just explain to everyone, you having actually played here, where the drift is going and how significant it is in comparison to maybe some other venues around the world.
Yeah, you know, it can be really tricky to play in the drift. So when you see us making, you know, a few easy mistakes and you're sitting there thinking, what is he doing? You know, it can be really tough to play in here. Hans is having, you know, the drift is coming from Tago's side now, so Hans should be able to push it a bit more. Also, there's a side drift from left to right as we're looking down. So you have to take that into consideration as well when you change ends.
Yeah. And of course, the drift is caused by the natural air currents within any large stadium. Warm air rises, and if there's aircon on at the same time as well, then it will create a little airflow. And of course, the shuttle is so light that it will get caught with the drift. And that's what we mean when we talk about drift. But it does make a significant effect on the rallies and maybe even on the choice of tactics by the players from one end to the other.
Yeah, indeed.
Just wide. Well, there's the drift coming into effect. Sideways drift. That went wide of the court. Or taken even wider, perhaps, I should say.
Yeah, it's quite fun to see how the shuttle can get taken by the drift.
Very, very short clear from Vittinghus.
Yeah.
3-4.
I think it was out Tago's lift there.
Yeah, it was the indecision, wasn't it? Cost him dear.
Also, an issue can be, you know, all the shots you play at practice when there is no air condition and no drift in the hall, you can't play in these conditions. So it can be a bit frustrating sometimes.
4-all.
Again, to tighten it shot.
Yeah, I just sense, though, this is a crucial little phase of the match. I think it's very, very important for the Dane to keep his mental discipline right now. Yeah, good rally.
Great change of pace again.
5-4.
Yeah, and we can keep saying it over and over again, but it's so important for Hans to take initiative.
Oh, that goes down as a missed opportunity. Goodness me.
5-all.
Got the short lift. Yeah, but good to see him keep his focus.
Great play by Hans. He's really trying now to keep the pace up and to get behind the shuttle. But also it requires a lot of energy physically as well to play the way Hans are playing right now. So it will be really important that he can keep it up.
And it's landed well in. There's the difference in ends. There's the drift we've been discussing.
Bit of a mid-adjustment.
Fitness-wise, I mean, I would have said that I think Vittinghus is one of the fittest players on the circuit. Look, you can see how far that's in. What I'd qualify that with is that he's a player that can run and run and run on all day.
8-5.
But in men's singles nowadays, you need more than that. You need that injection of pace. And whether he's got that ability to keep that going within this match, he needs to go to 3 games, obviously, if he wants to reach his first ever Super Series semi-final.
Yeah, and also we have to consider his preparations for this tournament.
Yeah.
He hasn't really practiced it for 6 weeks or so. So it will be exciting to see if he can keep it up. I hope so.
Yeah. Just missed it. Nice idea.
Service over. 6-9.
This is a big point.
It is.
Missed it. Wow.
Service over.
Really important point for Hans there.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Tago sometimes is that, you know, one rally he can be really passive and just playing, waiting for the opponent to do something, and the next one he's the one really taking initiative and trying to attack. So you really have to be ready all the time for what's coming. You can't just wait.
Oh, that's
Great play by
very,
Hans.
very well played.
11-6 interval.
A 5-point advantage here in the second game at the mid-game interval for the Dane. And he is playing very, very well indeed. I perhaps ought to just qualify something that I've just said. He's trying to reach his first ever Super Series semi-final. I did remind him that he had been in the semi-final of the Super Series finals of 2012, and he said that doesn't really count because it was a group stage, and he said that he lost 2 of his 3 matches in the group. Of course, in a Super Series tournament, you have to win every match. There's no second chances. So he didn't regard that as a real semi-final. That's interesting, the way he thinks and his mentality as a player, as a person.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it was a great result. But of course, I think he really wants to get in this semi-final.
Yeah.
11-6 play.
Well, can he push home this advantage in the second game and send it to a third and decider?
12-6.
Well, when you think that in 2011, Vittinghus was under threat from Finn Perak Hansen, the performance director in Denmark, had been thrown off the programme. Look at him now. Oh, my goodness, take that.
Great smash.
Service over. 7-12.
Not much to do there.
Yeah, wonderful. That's landed in.
Service over. 13-7.
No challenge from Tago. He knew fine well that had landed in. It was a sidelining question. And yeah, I think that was inside the sideline of the singles court there. Oh my goodness gracious, what happened? Oh, that's perfect.
It's a great smash again.
Well, what on earth was Vittinghus thinking of with his round-the-head shot? Surely he should have played a backhand earlier on in the rally than we're seeing there. But that's poetry in motion, isn't it? That final smash from Tago. Beautifully executed.
Service over, 14-8.
That's good judgment.
Out as well, yeah.
15-8.
It seems like we're going to have a third game here.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Okay, but again, the clear from Hans is a bit too slow, in my opinion.
9-15.
But again, it's really tough if you have to, you know, keep it down all the time, and physically it can be quite tough.
Missed it.
10-15.
I think the next point will be really important for Hans, so he can get an even bigger gap here.
That's miles in. What on earth
Service
was
over.
Tago thinking?
16-10.
I think he got tricked by the drift again.
Yeah, must have done.
Great point by Hans again. Great fighting.
Yeah, umpire allowing both players to towel down. That's fair enough. We've had a good match so far. 38 minutes this has been in progress.
Normally I would say that physically, you know, as you said earlier, Jill, that this would be fine for Hans, but considering again his preparations, I think it's really important that he is mentally and physically is prepared to work really hard in a third game if we're having to play this.
17-10.
It's a great shot.
Yeah.
Service over, 11-17.
Also considering the drift there. Brave shot as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the drift again. You're absolutely right. The left to right.
12-17.
Yeah, wide of that sideline in the singles court. Now, what Vittinghus can't afford to do is to think this game is already his. He's got to keep his focus, got to keep his intensity. Well, I was just watching in that rally, given something you said to me just a little bit earlier, and I was watching the amount that Vittinghus was being moved around the court and the amount of physical work he was having to do in comparison to Tago, and it was stark difference.
Yeah, indeed. this rally was really tough for Hans, I think. And Tago just standing there, playing defense.
Yeah.
Again, it will be really crucial for Hans to keep it up. It's out.
19.
Well, just
12.
2 points needed to secure this second game and send it to a third and decider. Oh, yes.
That was what I was talking about earlier. These net shot he's playing,
19.
you know, we see it in slow. We don't see it now, but it's coming so tight, and if you're a bit too late on it, you don't have any other opportunity than lifting, and then he can come in with his big smash that he's so good at.
Yeah.
So you really have to be on top of your feet.
He even had time to look down towards the line. Tago, get his bearings. Oh, magnificent.
Lovely played.
14-19.
It's fun to see how often Tago lifts to Hans's round the head side. Maybe it's due to the drift, I don't know, but interesting to see.
Oh, brilliant. Great disguise. A hold and flick from Tago.
19.
One point could be that, you know, Tago is able to push it way more to Hans's round the head side, again due to the drift. The shuttle won't get, you know, taken by the drift, and it makes it a lot easier to use that corner.
And of course, if it does go to a third game, the first half of the third game, the opposite will apply. He won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
No, we haven't got to a third game yet. Us neutrals, we just want to see great badminton. I'd love to see a third. Oh, good net shot. That's brilliant too.
That's great play.
For the home fans, I'm sure they don't
16,
want to see a third.
19.
They'd like to see their man winning 2 straight. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's
can't blame them.
perfect. Now this is where, as a player, you get a little bit edgy. Think that you've done enough to secure the second game, and then all of a sudden your opponent starts catching up. That's a good net shot from Tago. That's short. Oh, good defense. Very good
Great play.
defense.
Solver. 20. Game point 16.
He thought he killed that one.
So game points have indeed arrived for this man, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. 4 opportunities to level this quarter-final at 1 game apiece. That'll do.
Game.
First time of asking,
Second game.
and
won
his
by
winning
Hans-Kristian
shot greeted
Vittinghus.
with absolute silence from the
21-16.
fans here
1 game
in
all.
Tokyo. 45 minutes, and it is 1 game all. Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Keita Masuda spent a little more time with his man this time around and gave him a few more instructions. No, I'm absolutely wrong. He's already walking off again. No, unfortunately, I don't think we can hear that at all.
No, I was only able to hear one thing Kenneth said, and it was about the last cut. He was playing Hans in the in the last rally of the second set.
Når du er i anden reaktion, pas lidt på med krydserne. Der skal være lidt mere fart i, ligesom der der her, ikke? Helt blødt, sakter.
No.
Yeah, he was talking a bit about the speed of Hans' shot again. You know, that it's really important that he keeps speeding his shots that we've been talking about as well.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Oh, Kenneth Jonassen, former European champion and former world #2. Now a very experienced coach.
Yeah, it's great to have a coach behind the court who's been there himself.
He knows the pressure situations, know how you go through emotional turmoil.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah. Does make a big difference. So here we go. Third and deciding game.
Great lift.
Yeah, well taken. I somehow expect Tago to start this third game with a different sort of tactic, because he was behind in the opening game. Yes, he came good, but if I was a player, I think I'd probably want to send a message to my opponent. You may have won that second game, but look, I've still got this and I can do that, and I'm going to change my tactics.
Yeah, I think we will see a Kenichi coming out more aggressive again. At least I would do.
Yeah.
Service over.
Yeah, and also, going back to what we discussed right at the start of the match, I mean, if he starts a little more aggressive and is more proactive, he's going to get the crowd involved a bit more.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. And that will certainly help him.
Yeah. It's not often you have such a big crowd behind you, so...
No.
Service over.
I think that landed in.
2-1.
Well, he's thinking about making a challenge. Challenge is supposed to be immediate.
Tago. Tago.
Swing.
Oh, yeah, that's on the line. Yeah, don't waste a challenge on that. Now, I was talking a little bit earlier on, Victor, when I was about these challenges, which I think are the innovation of using Hawkeye as a challenge system in badminton, I think has been a wonderful move by the BWF, the Badminton World Federation. I just have one criticism. We don't have enough challenges. I think we ought to have 2 per game. And maybe even a third if you go beyond 20 all. Because now we've got this technology, now we know it works. I think that it is part of sport now. We see technology in most sports now, and we're going to see technology in the World Cup that's...
3-2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, if we have 2 challenges per game, it can also be used like, you know, maybe tactical if you want a longer break sometimes. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's too much, but I agree with you, we could use some more sometimes.
Yeah.
And also when we have, you know, as you say, when it's now developed and it's running, why not have a few more? It's also, you know, the crowd loves it as well.
Exactly, it brings the crowd involved. We've seen that in tennis for a number of years.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I understand completely that the BWF would have to change the rules of badminton to be able to do that, so they can't do that immediately. But certainly it's interesting to get a player's view, because I'm only giving the view of a spectator, and I'd like to see more challenges. But, you know, it's the game is for you players, so...
Yeah, but I agree with you, but I know that when there's been some talk about, you know, the new scoring system as well, and it's not all the players who agree.
No.
As well, you know, there's 1,000 different opinions. And
yeah. And quite frankly, when you watch a match like this, I can't see an awful lot wrong with what we've got at the moment.
No,
This is wonderful.
Hans has stepped up a bit now again.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. He's never once to lack effort, is he?
Reminds me of All England.
3-4.
Not adverse to throwing himself around in an effort to retrieve the shuttle.
Oy.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Really crucial points here. Also physically really tough, I think, for both players.
Yeah, just over 50 minutes of play. And both players who've had injury problems of late. It's landing in, that was...
He's had a few of these misjudgments, Tago. Relying on the drift there. These shots can be really tough to play if you're not in the right position, again due to the drift. If you're just coming a bit too late in the air, it's really, really dangerous to play.
Yes, because of course if you play cross court like that, all your opponent has to do is the straight block, and you're faced with the full diagonal of the court to scamper, which is the longest distance.
5-all.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the cross shot as well, but I realized that sometimes I have to run really, really fast to get the next one.
Yeah.
If my opponent is waiting for it. So you really have to mix it up and wait for the right chance.
Interesting change of tactics there from Tago. Good use of the body smash.
Yeah, that's also a shot which get used more often.
Yeah, it's the way the game is developing, isn't it? You know, I think back sort of 10 years or so, you probably didn't even know what badminton was then 10 years ago, but I'm telling you, virtually all smashes in singles were down the side of the court, because the standard thing was you try and make your opponent move as much as possible. Now the game has developed, you're all far better athletes than we ever were in our day, you know, and I think mixing it up, and some to the body, some out wide, making your opponent guess the whole time as to what's coming.
Yeah.
It's the way the game's progressed.
It is, yeah. You really have to master everything, physically, mentally, skill-wise as well, to be the best.
Good judgment.
Yeah, really good rallies here,
7-6.
especially by Hans. I think he's really trying to take initiative and working hard.
That was a great lift.
Indeed.
Good early judgment too about that.
I think he was really happy with this one.
Oh, Kenichi really shows much emotion. Possibly some of his training as a royal foot guard at Amalienborg, the Royal Palace in Copenhagen. Oh, that's clever again.
Some
That's the
solver.
same tactic.
7, 8.
But I think that Tago is looking maybe a bit tired as well. He's not jumping that much as we've seen him done earlier again.
Yeah, it's just towards that right shoulder.
Yeah, it's a great smash.
Yeah. Well, of course, the fact that Tago withdrew from both the India Super Series event and Singapore Super Series, there was obviously some sort of serious injury problem. He's usually a very good supporter of the Super Series, the 12 annual events each year. All 12 tournaments last year. Kenichi Tago played and he finished the year on the Super Series list as number 2, so that's an indication of how much he loves these Super Series events. He wouldn't miss them unless he really was struggling with injury.
All.
Yeah, that's good judgment.
A lot of good rallies in the start of the third set here.
I think he heard you. I think he heard you say he wasn't
9,
jumping as
8.
much. It lowered his pace, and he said to himself, I'm just going to prove Mr. Axelsen wrong there.
Yeah, I think I heard you say, you know, the curse of the commentator sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll just keep my mouth shut then.
No, no, please don't. I'm only teasing.
I know.
It is interesting, though. I mean, the intensity you see throughout the match nowadays. I mean, we're just 3 minutes shy of the hour mark of this men's singles, and no player can keep that intensity
10, 8.
at 100% the whole way through. So you do see the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And at the moment, well, Vittinghus has got to be careful because that wasn't even close.
Yeah. I think, you know, what makes Lee Chung-wei, Chen Long and Lendan in, you know, a good shape is that, you know, they play, you know, just this 50-50 game, not giving away any chances, but still if you try to take initiative, they're ready with a counter-attack. So they're just waiting for you to, you know, to attack and to take a stupid decision, and then they're there.
Yeah. Well, from 6-8 down, 5 straight points for Tago.
Yeah.
And how many of those points were actually errors from Vittinghus? Certainly the last 2. Return of serve that wasn't even close to the net. That attempted smash going wide. And mental discipline, I always talk about it in commentary, but, you know, hearing from an elite athlete as well, you know, as much as I would say to somebody if I was coaching, you've got to keep your mental discipline. It's so much more difficult when you're out on court, isn't it?
It is. It's really, really hard sometimes. Sometimes you just feel like everything is going against you, and every shot seems to be almost impossible to do. So you really have to keep yourself up mentally. This is a crucial time for Hans now.
It is, because it's 6 straight points his opponent has won. He's got to stop this run, and he's got to stop it now. That's another error. We can all recognise, you know, when it gets to 16 all, 17 all, how crucial every point is. But you made a comment in the first half of this deciding game, and you said this is a big point. And you can recognise sometimes at 5 all, 6 all, something like that, if a player can just up their intensity, if they can just move ahead, look at the difference it's made. This is extraordinary. 8 straight points now.
Yeah, and also, you know, Hans worked really hard in the first part of this third game, and now he has to work really, really hard again to come back. And it has to be sometime soon if he wants to have a chance here.
Yeah. Well, the fans are getting more and more involved.
Yeah, and also when you can see an end of it, you know, in Tago's position right now, you know, he can see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Yeah.
So that's also a really big advantage for you.
Mm.
Great play.
Yeah.
Service over.
Well, it remains to be
9-15.
seen if it's too little too late. But first things first, we said he needed to stop that run of points, and he has.
Still a chance to get back here.
Service over.
Just sense that Vittinghus needed that.
9.
It's interesting you saying he's got a chance to get back here. For you personally as a player, what do you say to yourself? If he can win 9 straight points, there's no reason why I can't win 9 straight points. Or is it does that sort of logic not come into the brain?
Yeah, you know, you just have to take one rally at a time, especially if you're behind. It will be hard work, and you have to be willing to put in the work in every rally. You can't wait. You can't just take the easy choices, because it won't pay off in the end.
No.
You have to work hard. But a good thing I like to do in my games is to say, okay, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3. And just keep saying that to myself. You know, sometimes it can help me really keep my focus and...
Yeah.
Okay, Tago.
Tago been told to come back to court, but the court attendant's still on, mopping up the perspiration. I sometimes used to reverse the score as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So that psychologically, if I was, you know, even if I was leading, I'd say, supposing I was 12-8 down, how would I fight to keep the momentum going?
That's interesting.
All these little psychological tricks that players use. It's well done. It's well played.
Great play.
17-10.
The crowd is getting more and more engaged here as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but again, mentally, you know, it's so different from player to player again, I think. Sometimes I also really wonder how my opponents are thinking on the opposite side of the net, you know, guys like Chen Long and Lin Dan, because sometimes you can't really see what they're, you know, what they're up to or what's happening in there. So.
Yeah. Oh,
Great.
it's well
Service
taken.
over. 11-17.
Well, he needs to say to himself, this is still possible. Yeah, a little smile there. He knows how good that was, coming forward so quickly. Finish it off.
Service over.
That's a pity.
18-11.
Yeah, good net shot. My goodness. Oh no, what a pity. A complete miss-hit from Vittinghus. The shuttle came off the frame of the racket after
20,
such a good
match
rally.
point 11. Tago.
9 game point opportunities and match point opportunities
Yeah.
for Tago. Oh, it's been a great contest. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it's been a great game.
Oh, clever.
Again.
Oh, Vittinghus may have touched the net. Oh my goodness gracious me! How on earth did he get that back?
12,
Yeah.
20.
Well, I think I said a little earlier, never gives up fighting Vittinghus.
Great shot. Oy.
Yeah, what a super match it's been. Another 8 match point opportunities though for Kenichi Tago.
Oh yeah.
13, 20.
But yeah, let's see. He still needs this last point. Oh yeah.
This time. And Kenichi Tago, the number 4 seed, goes through to its 3rd Yonex Open Japan semi-final. Of course, a year ago he went one better than a semi-final. He reached the
Match
final.
won by Kenichi Tago, 21-16, 16-21, 21-13.
21-13 confirmed by the umpire in the 3rd and deciding game. What a match it was. And the number 4 seed, Kenichi Tago, well, had to dig deep there against the spirited Dane, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. 21-16, 16-21, 21-13 in the deciding game as we look at that final rally once again. Victor, I have to say it's been an absolute delight having you with us.
Thanks a lot for having me, Jill. It was really fun.
I'm not sure when you're flying to Indonesia.
Sunday
Sunday
evening.
Will you come and join us again tomorrow for men's singles?
Yeah, sure, I would love to.
We would love to have you too.
Great.
So we look forward to that, of course, for semi-finals day for tomorrow. But we're not done with quarter-finals because we've got a men's doubles coming up next. An hour and 8 minutes, though, for that thrilling men's singles coming through. Kenichi Tago in 3 games.